Today, we're having a climate summit here in the city of Boston. We have about 40 cities represented around the world, and really talking about sharing best practices and what we're doing, and also about reducing carbon emissions and carbon reduction, but also looking at sea level rise and a whole host of challenges that we have as a coastal city. Ever since the president pulled out of Paris, it doesn't mean that the rest of us pulled out of Paris, and we joined a coalition of climate mayors to be part of a conversation about making sure we meet our goals, that we want to reduce carbon emission in the United States of America, that we want to make an impact on the environment. So that's what the crux of today is, kind of keeping that conversation elevated on a national level.
No nation, individually or even a few nations collectively, can solve this problem for us. This has to happen sort of grassroots up, and it's going to have to happen massively from where we are today.
Innovation moves in leaps and bounds, not little pieces. And I think that's our saving grace when you deal with an issue that's as challenging as climate, is to see where that next great idea is.
Because the implications of transportation are so wide-reaching that if you leave out one sector that should have been there during the planning stage, then your planning may be very much incomplete, and it will not be nearly as effective, which means that you're not going to have the savings that you want, you're not going to create the efficiencies.
Is this a going enterprise, and is this a growing enterprise?
We have to demand that our countries support us and our infrastructure so that we can continue to have good air quality in this country, and we deliver that air quality to every community.
The single largest marketplace the world has ever seen. There are 4.5 to 5 billion users today. There will be 9 billion users if things go the way we think they are in the next 20, 30 years. And it's a revenue producing. Because why do I say that? Because the solution to climate change is energy policy.
We're continuing to focus on the use of renewables. Right now, we are about 90% on renewables, 10% solar, 80% wind, but we want to get to 100%. So I'm very pleased with that.
Educated folks in the community about how to reduce your utility costs, how to reduce your consumption and still be comfortable in your homes.
No matter who's in charge of national government, cities are the place where people consume energy, have transportation networks, build buildings, consume electricity. We have to build that change one city at a time.
We can prove to the president that renewable energy can power America. And here's what we already know. In as few as 10 United States cities has come together, we have created the largest solar project in United States history. The largest project, the lower the cost. Today, Boston is asking the U.S. cities for two things. Number one, how much electricity will you use? Number two, how much of that do you want to be green energy by the year 2040? If successful, this would save cities, including Boston, millions of dollars. It would create more middle-class, clean energy jobs than any other project in the history of the United States. Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Orlando have already signed on, and I hope this list will continue to grow. This is an opportunity to make a major impact.